Well, joining me now is Marjorie Wallace. She is the Chief Executive of the mental health charity Sane. It's good to have you on the programme tonight, Marjorie, and it's absolutely heartbreaking, isn't it, to hear from Christina Edkins' family today, especially because her death was so avoidable, wasn't it, and so unnecessary.
Absolutely preventable. I mean, it was catastrophic failings all the way along in the 10 years since he showed mental health problems. You know, first of all, the school, why didn't they do anything? The police, who were called out 21 times by his mother. Then you have the probation services, the prison services, above all the mental health services. And what really beggars belief is that there he is in prison with his known history of violence, and it's flagged up that he has severe mental illness, and yet he's not transferred to a psychiatric unit, he's not given psychiatric treatment.
So what went wrong? Is it a budget problem? Is it someone not doing their job properly? What do you think's gone wrong?
It's a way that people are rather apathetic in a way. They don't see that that person is their responsibility, a very difficult person there. And we find again and again it's the families, I mean, look at the mother, desperate, but because he didn't want to have help, she didn't get any help. And then you get to the prison service. We've got 2/3 of our prisoners have a psychiatric condition, and yet many of them are not treated and are released without condition, as he was.
Christina's great-uncle, Chris Amelia, has been talking today to television networks. He says the authorities abandoned him. Is he right?
Yes, I think that is the case. People turn a blind eye here. And it's so sad because it's so preventable. You know, somebody who's got a mental illness like that and somebody who's shown violence like that, he should have been immediately in a psychiatric unit or assessed by psychiatrists and been under treatment.
And Christina, of course, would still be alive today.
Yes.
We know there's a public inquiry taking place now and lots of different bodies are involved in that, but if someone is found not to have done their job properly, as you say, what should happen to them? What would you like to see happen to them?
Well, I think we're going to find not one person here. It's a system failure on all sides. There's a lack of...
But should people lose their jobs? They very rarely do. And
they rarely do in these inquiries that happen. And I think that you're not going to find it in this case. But what you are going to find is some answers maybe to disturbing questions. And this time, let's learn the lessons.
And what a lot of people want to know is, does this happen often? Maybe not cases like Christina's, but are there more people who are out in society who need help themselves and are a harm to other people right now?
The perspective is there are about 10 random killings, like Christina's, a year by a mentally ill or disordered person. But yes, there are a lot of people who aren't getting treatment, who are living in the community and are not being supervised.
How many do you think?
You can't judge that. But we have at the moment a policy that most people are in the community. And for somebody to be discharged straight from prison to sleep rough is quite extraordinary, without any kind of care plan, without anybody supervising. That's just not acceptable. It kind of beggars belief. And then you think of the life that has been lost, and then you think of the fact that the failure of the duty of care to protect him, his family, and then the life of a beautiful girl.
And what would you say to her family if they're watching tonight?
Oh, it's so incredibly awful that it could have been prevented.